What's up, everybody? It's Legal Tender. I'm back in the building. I'm back in the vault. I pulled out some notes to make a new video. As always, I want to thank everybody for supporting the channel. Thank you for the love. Thank you for the support. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I really do appreciate that. If you're a fan of numismatics, if you're a fan of paper currency, if you're just getting into the hobby of numismatics, stay rocking with me. Stay rocking with the channel. Every Tuesday is Legal Tender Tuesday. Now I'll be making a new episode every week, speaking about something new, different, or interesting within the realm of numismatics. What else? If you have any questions, comments, or input, put it down in the comments section. I really look forward to reading your comments. I read everything and I respond back as soon as possible. And I just want to say thank you for giving me insight and giving me knowledge that I didn't have prior. So keep the comments coming. Throughout the video, if I say something that isn't 100% accurate or it's a little different from what you know, let me know via the comments. I will go back, hit the books, and make sure that I have the right information moving forward. All right, with that being said, let's get into today's episode. All right, so these are the notes that I pulled out. Pulled out a couple different, of the same denomination, same currency type. It's 5 notes in total. And I will tell you why I pulled these out right now. All right, so as always, you can tell the currency type up top, and we see that this is a Federal Reserve note. And Federal Reserve notes are identified with the green Treasury seal and green serial numbers. But the reason I pulled these notes out is because of this signature right here. Joseph W. Barr. Now, I made a previous episode speaking about Barr Notes, but on this episode, I will be speaking about the Federal Reserve Bank and the Federal Reserve districts that issued out Barr Notes. Now, there are 12 Federal Reserve banks and districts total, but only 5 issued Barr Notes. And that is what we will be speaking about. All right, let's go. All right, there he is, the man, the myth, the legend, Joseph Walker Barr. He served as the 59th United States Secretary of the Treasury. He was the Secretary of the Treasury from December 21st, 1968 until January 20th, 1969. These distinctive $1 Federal Reserve notes bear the signature of Joseph W. Barr, who served as the Secretary of the Treasury during the last 28 days of the President Lyndon B. Johnson's administration. Now, Barr was replaced when President Nixon chose a successor. Due to Barr's short term, his signature appeared only on the $1 note of series year 1963B. All right, so now it was a lot of these notes printed and issued. So from previous comments, I've heard that this note isn't very rare, but I would say that it is highly sought after. Solely because that Barr served in that position for only 28 days, and that is still a record, the shortest tenure in that position. And because of that, I think these notes are highly sought after. Not rare, but highly sought after. And because of his short tenure at that position, you could only find his signature on Federal Reserve notes of a $1 denomination of series year 1963B. And his signature is found on the lower right portion on the obverse of the note, to the right of the image, and to the right of the series year. All right, so as you can see with my visual aid that these notes also came in star notes. And I really believe if you have a star note, that will only add to the more than face value of this note. But again, it's not super rare, but I would venture to say that these notes are sought after, and they are by me, so I'm good with that. All right, so next, let's speak about the Federal Reserve banks and the Federal Reserve districts. All right, so what is a Federal Reserve Bank? A Federal Reserve Bank is a regional bank of the Federal Reserve System. It is the central banking system of the United States. Now, there are 12 in total, one for each of the 12 Federal Reserve districts that were created by the Federal Reserve Act of 1913. The Federal Reserve Bank is responsible for the distribution of all Federal Reserve notes. All right. And this is what it looked like. Zoom in a little bit. All right. So I have a previous episode speaking about Federal Reserve banks and Federal Reserve districts. And 1 all the way to 12 in their respective districts and states that they cover. Now, again, I find it interesting that it's 12 Federal Reserve banks and districts, but only 5 issued Barr Notes. And the 5 that issued Barr Notes are New York, Richmond, Chicago, Kansas City, and San Francisco. And if you look at it, I think that can manage, and it did manage, the distribution throughout the entire country in all 50 states. So you got New York that will cover the northeast portion of the states. You have Virginia that will cover the southeastern parts of the state. Chicago that covers the Midwest and the North Midwest. Kansas City that will cover the Midwest and lower portion of the United States. And then you have San Francisco that covers the entirety of the West Coast, Hawaii, and Alaska. So it was some strategic planning to identify which Federal Reserve Bank is going to issue these notes and have the capabilities of covering the entirety of all 50 states. Because when it's all said and done, it's still currency. And responsibility is to ensure that proper distribution of these notes get put out throughout the entire country. So all 5 notes right here. We got New York, Richmond, Chicago, Kansas City, and we have San Francisco. Now, that was only 5 of the 12 Federal Reserve banks that issue these notes. So the 7 that were omitted that did not distribute Barr Notes are Boston, Philadelphia, Cleveland, Atlanta, St. Louis, Minneapolis, and Dallas. Those are the 7, not states, those are the 7 Federal Reserve districts and banks that did not issue these notes. This is the entirety of that series year. I'm pretty pumped to have the whole collection of Barr Notes that was issued by the distributing Federal Reserve districts and banks. And that right there goes to show you that you don't have to spend an exorbitant amount of funds to have a currency collection. you can have a nice collection with just singles. You could get all series years. That's identified down there. You could just get the entirety of all 12 Federal Reserve districts and banks, and that's just $12. This collection rate, the entirety of this collection is $5. And I'm pretty sure it'd be kind of tough bet you can still find these in the wild. So yeah, I'm pretty pumped that I got the whole collection of Barr Notes by Federal Reserve districts. All right. So that's that. That's a short little episode, but I just wanted to speak about something again, new, different, or interesting. And I find it interesting that of the 12 Federal Reserve districts, only 5 issued out the Barr Notes. Now I could see if the Barr Notes cover all denominations, but it only went as far as the $1 denomination, and they still chose to only have 5 other 12 Federal Reserve districts push out these notes. So if you got all 5, let me know. I seen a really nice like collector book, but I missed that purchase. But I ran back and I got them later without the fancy display case. So Barr Notes in Federal Reserve districts that distributed them. All right, that's all we got for this one. Until next time, keep it legal. Oh, first, if you like what I'm doing, like, comment, subscribe, and tell a friend to like, comment, and subscribe. All right, that's all we got. Until next time, keep it legal, keep it tender. Talk to you soon.